Hey everyone, my name is Ben Gromiko. I'm from InterNACHI. That's the International Association of Certified Home Inspectors. We're the world's largest organization of home inspectors, and we essentially train and certify home inspectors. And it's all online. And right now, if you're attending this InterNACHI webinar, this is online. Free online webinars. We do them all the time. We do like a few a week. And the recording, it will be on our YouTube channels. And we'll also upload this audio to our podcast, our Home Inspector podcast, so you can listen while you drive and learn. And what we're doing today is something special. We have a special guest, Istvan Zsako. I love that name. And he's going to help us, home inspectors, connect with real estate agents. Now, when I was a home inspector for a dozen years in Pennsylvania, there was a lot of competition. But I was able to network and build really good relationships that benefited my business with real estate agents. That's how we were number one in our area, because we connected with real estate agents and we built really good, cooperative, good relationships with real estate agents because they're involved in the real estate transaction. So there are other strategies out there. But this is tested and proven to be successful because Istvan does it for his home inspection company, which is a huge home inspection company in New Mexico. And he's going to talk a little bit about that and also his plan, his system that is available for us home inspectors to take a look at. So Istvan, I really appreciate when experts like yourself, veteran inspectors and professional advisors and consultants come and take their busy time and share what they know with us. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Ben. Thanks. Pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to have this opportunity to share with the InterNACHI community. And today I want to talk about something that is a way that you can start building relationships with realtors so that you can start increasing the amount of referrals that you get. We all know the value of a referral. We've all been there where we get a phone call, and if it's somebody who doesn't know much about our company, they ask a lot of questions. But when we get that call where somebody says, well, my friend, my brother, or the realtor told me you're the best, sometimes they book the inspection and they don't even ask for the price. They're just so trusting of what you have to offer based on the referrals that they got, that they're gonna book you, they're gonna use you no matter what. So today you're gonna talk about the Follow-Up Rockstar system, and this is what you can use to start building referrals with your clients. So it's how to generate more leads from the agents that you are working with. So imagine a system that'll get you repeat referrals from your agents. It'll convert listing agents into buyer's agents in your system, and it'll keep your current agents engaged with your company so that you will always stay top of mind when they think of a home inspection company. Networking. We all know networking is really important, right? We go out to events, we're part of associations, maybe we sponsor a golf tournament, a bowling tournament, all these different events that we get out there so that we can engage with realtors. And then we get cards, we say hi, we get their cards, but how many of us have taken those cards and they're sitting on our desk? There's just a pile of cards sitting there. Maybe they even got a rubber band and got thrown in a drawer and we never followed up with them. We know how important it was, but it's just too many people, you know, too many things coming through. We got our business working on, we're on to inspections, and we forget to follow up. It's so key, guys. Following up with these agents and building relationships is the best thing that you can do for building your company, because the reality is, for most of our companies, is 80% or more of our referrals are coming from agents. They're the people who are working with the clients. They're the ones finding people who want to sell and buy homes. So why wouldn't we want to be building the relationship with them? As opposed to going out and trying a marketing in, you know, an ad in a newspaper and other things where we're going to get really low return on investment. Those realtors, those relationships are key for us as home inspectors. Now, do you have a system to follow up with them? Right, like I said, we get all these business cards when we go to networking events. Are we engaging with those agents afterwards? It's really key. And do you have a system for, say, your one-time buyer's agent, right? We get a buyer's agent that decides to try our company, or their home inspector was way too busy, so they decided, well, I'm going to call this guy. I got his number. He came into our office, dropped off a card. I'm going to try him. Or maybe their client had a friend or family member that referred you. Now you get that one opportunity to interact with them. And the reality is sometimes they come and sometimes they go back to their preferred inspector. We didn't build the relationship and get them to know more about our company so that they stay engaged with our company. Then we have our non-referring listing agents. These would be listing agents that they sell properties. We get their information maybe from an MLS data sheet. We get to interact with them somewhere along the way, but they're not referring us buyers to our inspection company. And that's, you know, another source of leads. And then there's the agents that you meet at presentations, CE classes, networking events, all these other events. You know, how many times have you had somebody come up to you, you know, let's just talk outside of home inspection, where they're trying to sell you something and they come up, here's my card, call me, I can do this for you, talk to you later, and they run. And you kind of feel afterwards like, I really didn't get to know much about that person, what they had to offer. And it sounds like all they want is my money. You don't want to be that guy when you're going to these network events. You want to talk to them, you want to engage with them, and then the fortune is in the follow-up. Okay, making that connection afterwards so that you can remind them who you are, about the interaction that you had, so that you can be working on building your relationship with these realtors. So here's a big question to ask yourself. Why are they going to take a risk on you, right? We all know that our service is the best service. Our inspections are the best. Our inspectors are the best. We're the best in the city, best in the state, whatever it might be that you're selling yourself. Why are they going to take a chance on you? If a realtor on average does 12 transactions a year, 12 transactions, and you're saying, I can help your client, love to be there, and they're willing to give you a shot, they're risking one of those transactions. Imagine putting 1 month of your pay on the line with somebody you've never worked with, who might say something wrong that scares the buyer or kills the deal, and all of a sudden you lost a whole month's worth of pay. What would that be worth to you? A whole month's worth of pay gone working with somebody that you didn't know, right? It's really huge. Once again, it comes back to that building the relationship. If they know who you are, what you're about, and what you have to offer for their clients, they're gonna give you that shot. And then now you can show them how good you are and why they should be using your company over all the other inspection companies. So we need to build the relationship. Let them know who you are. What are you about? You know, you don't have to tell them all your personal deep, dark secrets. You just have to engage with them. Let them know what your interests are. Let them know your hobbies. A good thing to always ask is ask them questions about them. Show that you're interested in who they are. And by doing so, you can build that relationship. A lot of us might be awkward in some of those events. You know, there's some acronyms that are really helpful. I think there's like family, you know, your recreational, your occupation, and, you know, what is it, hobbies and other interests. You know, there's some acronyms out there that'll help you get some questions to answer. And all you got to do is ask questions. Because when you ask questions about people, it shows them that you're interested in who they are, instead of just saying, I'm this guy, I can do this, I'll do this, you need me. Instead, you're saying, who are you? I want to know who you are. And you show interest, you build that relationship. It's so key to get their trust and getting them to start wanting to refer you. Now, what do you have to offer? Do you have your sales pitch down? Do you have your USPs, your unique selling points? What is so different about your company that they should be using you over the home inspector that they probably already have a relationship with and are using and like? Let them know. And that only comes through communication. You have to tell them about your services and why they're so good and why you're so thorough. And let them ask questions too to get to know more about the services that you offer. And as they know what your background is or why you offer these services, what it offers their clients, it builds trust in them sharing what your services are and referring you for those services to their clients. And once you get that, you start getting the referrals. And the referrals are repeat business. And I'll tell you right now, trying to go after one new agent is going to cost you a lot more than building the relationship with the agents that you have right now that already know you and are already referring you, so that you can keep them engaged and keep them referring you to more buyers and sellers. Who is referring your company? I asked myself this question 2 months ago, and I decided to pull a report. A lot of us track our stuff. We have CRMs, customer relationship, management software. Some of us don't. Maybe it's still on paper. That's fine. But look through the numbers. If you talk about all the buyer's agents that came, only did one transaction, and all the listing agents you got information from through a transaction, how many of them are actually working with you and engaging with your company? You might be surprised to know what the numbers really are. And I've talked to multiple home inspection companies. I'm going to share some stats really quick with you about who is actually referring these companies. So this is my company a couple months ago. 1,995, just shy of 2,000 agents. These are buyer's agents and seller's agents, just agents, not clients. 73% of them, they're not referring my company. They're not talking about my company. They're not bringing me buyers, nothing. They're just information in my system that I could be taking advantage of and reaching out to build those relationships. Now, if I took those 1 out of every 10, if I could convert 1 out of every 10 by building a relationship, and I put an agent value at 5,000, which I feel is conservative. Some people have said 7,000 on the lifetime value of an agent. That would have brought back another $730,000 over the last 5 years since I started tracking this information. That is huge. That's money left on the table. Those are inspections that went to other inspectors who may not be offering the same great value or, that you offer. They may be doing a low-level, crappy inspection, and those buyers were left to go to them because their agents weren't referring you to their buyers. Here's another case study, bigger company. This one has been, they've been in business for 11 years. 5,375 agents, 82% are non-referring agents. That means 1 out of every 5 in their system are actually bringing them more than just 1 transaction. That's a really low number. And this is across the board. You might think it's different because you have these great realtors that you work with. We all have those great realtors. But the reality is there are a lot of transactions where somebody comes in and we never see their name again because they went back to their other inspector. We didn't really get their attention, or we didn't stay connected with them so that they stay engaged with our company. Out of this, 10% conversion rate for this company would have been an extra $2.2 million over the last 11 years. That's $200,000 a year if they could convert 1 out of every 10 of those agents that are not referring them currently. Now, I think those are conservative numbers to be working with, and I could see that being much higher if you had something set up to follow up with these agents.
And a lot of home inspectors, sorry to interrupt, but a lot of home inspectors are always saying out loud, where do I find agents? And where do I find them? How do I get in contact with them? And you're saying essentially that a lot of home inspection companies already have a database of agents that are just sitting there. And then they kind of forget that they have a huge database of all these contacts and they're just not following up and connecting with them.
That is excellent, Ben. And that is exactly what this is implying. You already have the information for all these agents. Like my company alone, shy of 200,000. That was, 2,000. That was close to 1,500 agents that I could be reaching out to, connecting with, building relationships to start getting those referrals. So yeah, it's totally. And then it doesn't really cost you money there. It's not buying lunch for anybody or taking a trip or going to sponsor something. It's just looking in your database that is already there in your hands.
Yep.
Excellent point. So you need to start your follow-up campaigns. These follow-up campaigns are what you're going to build to start building the relationships. I'm going to give you some ways to build these campaigns and give you ideas that you can be using in your campaigns so that you can start building these relationships, engaging with your agents, and start getting the referrals that you want. Your buyer's agents. Once again, these agents, they heard about you, their client was referred to you, or their home inspector was way too busy and they're going to give you a shot. That's all you need, right? Give me 5% of your trust and I'll earn the other 95%. Right there is that chance that you get to interact with your company to see what you have to offer for their clients. Are you welcoming that agent after the interaction? Are you saying, hey, it was great to have the opportunity to work with you, look forward to working with you on other transactions? Are you informing them about your company? Maybe they don't know about other services that you may offer to clients that would be valuable to their other future clients. So let them know, who are you? What do you do? You know, what is the company about? How are you engaged in community? How are you engaged in other things? Just reach out to them, talk with them, and start building the relationship. It could be an email. Another one that's really powerful is a phone call. You may not always get through, but when you get a phone call and you just reach out to them, just say, hey, this is Istvan with Zsako Home Inspections. Got to work with you on that last transaction. It was really great. Just wanted to see if you had any more questions about our company. If you do, feel free to reach out to us anytime. Simple. You don't have to make it complicated. It doesn't have to be a big long script or a monologue that's going to take up 5 minutes or a sales pitch. It's just connecting with people. That's all relationships is about, is reaching out and touching them in a way that they remember you, and then keeping that engagement so that you stay top of mind with those agents. Another one is,
we just did a webinar with a home inspection company, and he's been in business for a few years, and he's gone back old school. So now cold calls for his company is the way he generates a pipeline of real estate agents and creates a network and a relationship. So he's actually finding business card and just calling them up, doing the old school cold calling.
That's awesome. And cold calls, they can be powerful. They can be scary. Trust me, if you haven't done it at first, you know, it's like, I'm calling this person that I don't know. But after you do a couple, you get over it, you get comfortable, you know what you're going to say, you know it works, and you just have that conversation. Yeah, and right now, a lot of people, they're kind of...
No one does it anymore. No one calls it anymore. So we're all online texting each other. So he's taking that unique advantage.
Yeah, and it's awesome. And you don't have to make it a sales pitch.
Right.
You just interact with them. That's all it's about. And right now, so many people are locked up at home. They might actually enjoy the opportunity to go, you know, I've heard about your company. What do you do? And now you got the opportunity to share about your company.
Right.
It's a really great thing. So really good, really good. I like that, Ben. And then coupons too. Coupons are always great. They're a good way to get people to come back, especially if they have a buyer that's a little bit of on a budget. Hey, I got a coupon for this inspection company. We had one interaction with them. I liked it. You could try them. And then now you get another chance to build that relationship and interact with them and show that realtor what you can do for their clients. As well as they can be very helpful in the wintertime too. When things slow down, you got these people that are in your system or you have their contact information. It's a good time to throw out a coupon to them, try to build that relationship in the winter when you could use a couple extra inspections as things slow down. You got your listing agents. So your listing agents, you probably got their information off an MLS data sheet because they're the ones listing the home. Yeah, they're not a buyer on that transaction, but they are a realtor, which means they're buying and selling homes with their clients. So you got the information. Now you want to let them know who they are. Welcome them to your company. Let them know who you are, what you're about. Once again, tell them about the services that you offer. And a nice thing is, you know, a lot of people are talking about these pre-listing or pre-market home inspections. They're really great for preparing the home before it goes on the market, and realtors are starting to push it. If you can help them market that service to their clients and get the home better prepared so that it sells for a higher dollar amount, you're helping the realtor. Now you're bringing them value. Even if they haven't bought you a buyer yet, you're now bringing them value so they can see what you have to offer them. And then you start giving them materials. Maybe you got a handout, you know, something like, you know, preparing the home before it gets inspected, or things that a seller should look at before they put it on the market. Might not get you the inspection right there, but once again, you're bringing the value to the agent and you're working with them to help them win. So when it comes to them getting a buyer, they're going to have enjoyed their interaction with you. You've brought them so much value. They're going to want to give something back, and they start giving you the referrals. You could also do other things like videos. If you're comfortable doing videos, you can do, you know, instead of a handout worksheet, you can do a video about why somebody would want to do a pre-listing inspection. And that's something they could easily forward around their office. Now everybody's looking at your photo, your video, your logos, your company. And once again, that's all this is all about, is getting out in front of the agents, letting them know who you are and what you have. And then once again, the coupons. Coupons are always the last resort too. It's like, we haven't gotten them yet. At least we can give some value to their client in dollars that they will give us a shot, so that we can show them what we can do for their client. Then your active agents. We got our agents, you know, some of them have worked with us 5 times, some of us worked with us 60 times, you know, all across the board. But once we build that relationship, or we've already known that they're talking about us, are you doing anything to stay engaged with them? Because what if another home inspection company is doing exactly what I'm talking about, building the relationship on the side, and then suddenly you're too busy to help them on that one transaction, and they go off to another inspection company and they don't come back? If you're building value with these agents after they're already referring you, it continues to build that relationship where they become loyal to your company and not the other inspection company. Because of what you're constantly giving them, they know that there's so much value in the relationship that they honor that relationship and want to keep that relationship. So how do you do that? If you know systems, if you know business, or if you'd like to read articles, you could send them really great realtor-based information articles. You could read books that you enjoyed about real estate that you can give them tips out of those books, or you can actually refer the book to them. Be like, wow, here's this really great book I read, and I think you would really enjoy it. Boom. That is not a salesy email or a phone call. That is literally saying, I saw something that you could find of value. I wanted to share it with you. That's all it is. It's about building the relationship. It's not a constant, ongoing sell, 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 which means it takes a lot of the pressure off of your engagement, because that's all you're doing is just saying, hey, I saw something that I thought would help you. Here it is. And then what about your other services? Maybe you're adding radon.
Yeah, I was going to just jump in. If you're not talking to your real estate agents, your competitors are, right? Because agents have the gift of gab. They just love to talk, and they talk about business and family and friends and activities and things like that. So if you're not talking to your real estate agents, someone is. It's probably going to be your competitors. Yeah, great point.
Yeah, that is right. You know, they do like to talk. Most of them have that personality. They love interacting. So what about your other services? If you're thinking about adding radon, or you're thinking about adding sewer, there's so many other services too that you could be adding to your company. Why don't you build some hype about it? Just throw it out there. Go, oh my gosh, I got something really great that I want to be sharing with you. I'm going to share it next month or next week. Now you got some engagement. They're like, well, what's he going to do? You know, and they're looking forward to the interaction with you. You're not selling. Once again, you're not selling. You're just informing them. You're just keeping them engaged, and you can make it really fun and not so much of a stressful thing. It was like, well, you know, I got to have my sales pitch down, you know, my elevator speech every time. No, you're just interacting with them. And then once again, those coupons, right? If you want to do that, it's always a great way to boost some sales short term, like in the winter. Then your sponsorship follow-ups. A lot of us are doing sponsorships. We may be paying for a meal. We may be paying for an ad space, you know, at the tournaments, golf tournaments, or be a part of fundraisers and set up a booth and get out there in front of these agents. There's not a lot of that going on right now, I know, but it's probably going to start up again. Once it does, you know, what do you do to follow up with these agents after you've engaged with them? Because a lot of these events, you'll sometimes even get a sheet with all the names and phone numbers and emails right on them. Is that just sitting in your email, lost or printed out, put in a file, forgotten about? Or are you doing something to engage with them once again, to remind them of who you are and the interaction that you had, so that you can be building that relationship? Maybe you do CE classes or trainings. What are you doing afterwards? Because if you're not following up afterwards, you do have the opportunity to meet with them there, build a relationship, but if you're not doing anything, it stops right there. And now it's up to them to engage with you, instead of you being in control of continuing to grow that relationship, continuing to engage with them, and continuing to build a relationship so that they start referring your company to their clients. And then it's a great place to meet lots of new agents. You know, networking, some people do BNIs, some people get connected with the Chamber of Commerce, and there might be other associations in your area where you can network. Some people do these Friday luncheons, all sorts of stuff. Those are great places to go meet people. But once again, just meeting them isn't enough. Giving them a card is not enough. You have to do the follow-up so that you work on building that relationship and getting them to know who you are and what you offer. Presentations. This is another one just similar like the other slide where, we may have been buying food in the past to take to an office meeting or a training, and we get those couple of minutes to stand in front of the group and say, my name is, and my company is, and we offer you. That's a great opportunity to get in front of people. But once again, the follow-up. All about the follow-up. What are you doing afterwards? And it can be simple, going, hey, it was nice to see you at that mold training or brokers training, whatever it is that you sponsored. Hope you got a lot out of it. Be really nice, to get an opportunity to talk to you, share more about my company. You want to know more, feel free to reach out to me. Really simple, real easy. That could be even a phone call, probably even more powerful as a phone call, just to see that they got something out of what they did, because they sacrificed time. They probably had to pay to be there. For somebody to actually ask and say, hey, I hope you got a lot out of that, and engage with them, they might appreciate that. As well as, once again, your reason for doing it is to build a relationship. So now you've engaged them and interacted with them. And then get them the information. Once again, you can email it. You can send out cards. Some people like to do cards, write cards. And they can be very simple. Once again, just great to meet you. Hope you got a lot out of the event. Reach out to me if you need anything. Really straightforward. And then that coupon. Well, I've never used that inspection company, but you know what? They're offering $50 off inspection. That's quite a bit. I'll give them a try. Let them see what they can do. And now you get your opportunity to show what you can do for their clients. The client drip follow-up. Here's a big one. Who is engaging the clients after the inspection? Most of the time they get a thank you email or maybe a thank you phone call, and that's it. I understand we may be telling ourselves, hey, statistically, they're not going to buy a house for another 13 years. What am I supposed to maintain a relationship with them for 13 years and hope that they buy a house within that time? I understand. But you have to keep in mind, they have friends, they have family, they have coworkers, which means they can talk about you to other people and get you referrals. Because if their experience was a great experience and somebody else asked, hey, about to buy a house, do you know any home inspectors? Oh yeah, I had a great experience with my home inspector. You should call him. He's going to take care of everything you need. And he's great. Or she, call this company. But if you're not staying engaged with them, often over time, they forget who the inspection company was. And I know that because I have talked to people, in business consulting and just people I met and asked them, who was your inspection company? It'd only been 2 or 3 months. They couldn't even remember who it was. 2 months later, gone. Because they didn't stay top of mind. They didn't stay interacting with their clients. They just figured, well, they don't buy houses every day, so what is it going to be of value to me? It has so much value. And there's ways that you can build that relationship that's really easy. You can build a seasonal, home checklist, right? And maintenance tips. And you can send these out in the fall. You can send them out in the spring. You can tell them things they should be aware about or things they could do in their garden in the summer. And it's just really simple tips that you're giving them, once again, to bring value. When they see the value in the relationship, they want to stay connected, and you stay top of mind with them when people start asking about a home inspection company. Especially since they know they just bought a house, they're going to ask those people because they had an interaction with the home inspection company recently, and they're going to be an ideal person to refer somebody unless they had a bad experience. But if they had a good experience, which is what you should be having every time, they're going to want to share your name and your information with their friends and family. Now, what about maintenance inspections? Do you offer a maintenance inspection? You don't? It's something to consider. It's really easy. You don't even have to do a full inspection because you've already inspected everything. All you're doing is seeing what kind of maintenance they need. It could be a stripped down report that's real easy, basic, and it just ends up being a summary or a checklist of things they should be aware of, like painting the fascia, a little caulking around the window, and removing some, soil and leaf litter that's built up in the gutters, whatever it is. It can be really simple, but by talking about your maintenance inspections and why they're so important, they can call you for those maintenance inspections, bringing you more business. Because once again, it's so much more cost effective to market somebody that you already have a relationship with than it is to go out and find somebody new who doesn't know anything about your business. And then if you have any new construction development going on, which we've been seeing a lot of that these last couple of years, what about a warranty inspection? The buyer buys the house, and most companies will say, oh, we'll do your warranty inspection for you at the end of the 12 months. But that person works for their company. Come on, really? They would love to have somebody that's a third party, unbiased, that has no invested interest in covering anything up to say, yeah, you got this going on, you got that going on, here, let me write up a report for you. Now you have it reported, and they can submit that to their builder and say, hey, I would like you to take care of these things before my warranty is over. But they may not know that that's even an option unless you are reaching out to them and informing them about that service so they can call you and you can get that inspection to help make sure that their home is well taken care of before the warranty expires. So all of this sounds like a lot of work, right? I got to start doing phone calls. I got to start writing emails. We were already busy, right? We're already busy doing inspections, and we don't need more work. I understand that. Some of us have a marketing person, some people don't. Some people have an office manager. Some of us might have become the office manager and aren't doing inspections, but it's more work. But the thing is, growing your business is work, and it's something that you need to keep working on, something that you need to keep developing. It doesn't stop unless you want to stop, right? So if you want to keep building your businesses, these campaigns are ways that you can continue to get more referrals so that you can increase and grow your business. Here's the question. What if you could automate the process so it's happening all by itself with little to almost no manpower working for you? You could be notified when it's time to make calls or send out a card to these agents so that you stay engaged and you don't drop the ball and forget to follow up with them. And if it all could happen while you're focusing on your inspections, while you're out in your clients, this is all happening in the background. So these campaigns, these are all great things that you could be doing that I recommend that you all figure out how you can start doing it. And I want to share a little tip about how you can make it more effective so that it's happening continuously and consistently so that you continue to get those referrals on a continual basis and grow your business. Automation platforms. Automation, right? First thought everybody here is automate, automate. We've all gotten those generic emails that just try to sell us something, and they're horrible. I understand. But it depends on your approach. You keep your emails simple. You keep them about bringing value. You don't make it focused on you, but what you can give to them. So it's about them. It's not so offensive. And there are platforms that you can use out there. There's Infusionsoft. There's Active Campaigns. Those are two common ones. And I've been seeing that there are many others out there. And to give you an idea of what these can do is you actually go into these platforms, which you pay, most of them are a monthly service, and you automate everything. You build it out. So as you put somebody in there, say I got a new listing agent, I would put them into my system. It would pretty much build, this campaign that you build, you would build it so that at a certain time, we send an email. At a certain time, a reminder comes to my office to give them a phone call, or a reminder comes to the office to write a note card to them. And at a certain time, they get another email, And now you've created this system that follows up with them and builds the relationship. These platforms are very powerful. They do take a little bit of time to learn to how to program and actually spend time sitting down doing it. But if you're crafty or already using these platforms, which some companies are, all you got to do is just design these campaigns that I talked about earlier so that they start engaging those target audience and building those relationships so that you can increase your number of referrals. I do want to mention one platform in particular, and this is the follow-up Rockstar system for home inspectors. This system has already been built where it does all of these things that we talked about and so much more, which is so powerful. and it's automated, which means you don't need to hire another person. You don't need to get a marketing person. You don't need to hire this person that, you know, knows these complex systems to build it for you, or go out and spend, you know, $10,000 to $15,000 building one. It's already built. And this is great because there's two different packages. This is what I use in my inspection company to build relationships. There's a relationship builder package. It is great for any startup company or smaller company that wants to grow, that's trying to get more referrals and build more relationships with agents. So you got your new buyer's agent, somebody who just comes in the system. They're the first time they've ever worked with your company, it's going to follow up. You got that new listing agent. They're somebody who maybe they'll never bring you a buyer or haven't bought you a buyer yet, but now you can start engaging them, start building that relationship with them so that you can get them referring their next buyer to your company and start getting those referrals. Your current agents, there's a campaign that helps keep them engaged. It's a nurture campaign. So it's nurturing that relationship that you've already worked hard to build so that it stays solid and they stay loyal to your company because you keep bringing them value again and again and again. And they wouldn't even consider going somewhere else because they wouldn't have anything that compares to what you're giving those agents. And then the homeowner, there's a campaign there already built. It's got everything to keep them engaged, keep them getting seasonal maintenance tips, giving them information about your maintenance inspections so that they can help keep their home well maintained because you're giving them so much information. You're telling them, hey, you need to do this before winter comes. Hey, it's springtime. You want to do these things. And so you're helping them in a way that they're going to want to help you and give back by giving you those referrals to other people. And then there's the follow-up rock star. This is what I love. If you're already doing like webinars or doing things online, this is great because it's a whole nother level. It's everything that I talked about in the relationship builder package. So you're building those relationships, all those agents and your clients, but it goes a step farther. If you're doing presentations and you're doing sponsorships, there is a campaign so that you can follow up with these people afterwards and engage. And then there's the online webinar. A lot of things are going online, guys. A lot of things. A lot of meetings are not happening. And I've seen businesses, you know, real estate offices that they've been loving going online. They've been getting more attendance. They may not even go back to having an office meeting inside the office, which means we need to get online. If you're offering an online webinar, a training, maybe you're doing your CE classes, how do you capture data? You know, you can offer it out there and they advertise it and people show up, but then they're gone. What now? But if you had a way that you can inform them, they could sign up for it. They can get reminders for the event so that they show up. And then you follow up afterwards, acknowledging the event and with them and start building the relationship. Boom, you just take it to a whole nother level. Rather than just seeing you for a couple minutes, now you're engaging with them and building that relationship, ongoing building that relationship. And another one that's really cool about that one is there's a transaction counter. Transactions. How many of us know the transactions with our realtors? Maybe we could look it up, maybe it's in our CRM, but are we acknowledging them? You know, maybe a new agent that came in, they did one transaction with us. Then they come back, they did two. And then maybe when they get to 5, you want to say something. You want to be like, wow, this has been awesome. We've already done 5 transactions with you. You are killing it. That's it. You're not selling anything. You're not soliciting. All you're doing is just engaging with them to say, I want to celebrate with your awesomeness. And now they're like, wow, these people actually noticed, you know. I can tell you nobody else is doing it. Nobody's talking about that. They just get the agents in, they forget about them, they're just running out trying to get another agent into their system. Now you're building that relationship and you're celebrating with them as they are being successful in their real estate business. Because at the end of the day, we're business owners, right? And so are they. They might not see it that way, but we can celebrate together as business owners and acknowledge each other. So the follow-up Rockstar system for home inspectors. The relationship builder package is $3,500. This is one time. You will pay for a platform, which is Infusionsoft, but it's one time. We set you up with everything that you need. We build it in there, and then we teach you how to use it so that you can customize it, fully customizable. You can change the times and the dates when you send things out to people. You can personalize the emails so it's representing you and how you speak and share information with your agents so that it's you engaging with them. All the PDFs, like we have all these handouts, worksheets, checklists for the agents and the clients, all built into the system. We even have scripts for you so that you can do videos. If you feel comfortable doing videos, the scripts are right there, show you how to do it. You can take the scripts, you can do the videos, and then you can send videos and emails, which today, videos and emails are starting to get a really good response, especially if you keep them nice and brief, where it's not, you know, click here, 30 minutes later, I'm done telling you about this. But if they can see you got some information there, lots of times they click, they get a really high click rate. So we show you how to start doing videos, give you scripts that you can use that are for building the relationships with your agents. And then there's the Rockstar package. It has everything, the relationship builder. Once again, it's $5,500, has all these extra amazing campaigns that are going on. And another one that's in there in the Rockstar that I love, it's kind of running in the background. And what it is it's actually a campaign that's designed, if you have realtors that are not opening your emails, they're not engaging, they actually will go down a different route. It changes the way that we try to get them on the subject line, everything, so that the whole idea is to get them to engage. Because at this point, they're not reading your stuff, they're not opening your stuff. So we change our approach to try to get them back, engage with you to build that relationship, and then get them back into campaigns so that you can keep building your relationships with them. Now, I talked to the developers on this, and we're able to do a discount, which is really awesome for InterNACHI members.
Nice.
Right here is the information. And if I could, let me send this really quick. There's some links in the chat, and these links will take you to these services. You can read more about them, and there is a way to pay for it there. But with this code, the founder code, you're gonna get $500 off, which is awesome. You know, I really had to convince them that this is a great community here, and I think that they really would love having this, and they allowed me to do this. So with the code founder, get $500. Not only the $500, but there's also the open office hours. And with the open office hours, oh, lost my slide here. With the open office hours, this is a great thing. They typically offer 6 months. We're able to offer 1 full year. The open office hours is an opportunity for you to get on a Zoom call that is a scheduled Zoom call, and people show up and people share ideas, ask about, ask about what kind of changes you can make, campaigns, customizing, everything else. And this is for the person who, if you don't have the time to build this system, this is a great opportunity for you to get this working for your company right now. For those who can build it, all the information I gave is everything that you need to build it. I want to make sure that you understand that and get value. But in the end, if it's something that you're not able to build yourself, there's this. There's this great program. This is what I'm using in my business. I think it's so much value. But that open office hours, you have the access to Infusionsoft specialists that can help you, tweak your system or even build new campaigns if you want. If you have another idea, this is a great way that you can take that and build that, as well as business strategists in there too that'll help you build emails and campaigns that are focused on relationships and not just sales, so that you don't turn off these agents and you're constantly giving them value and building that relationship.
I like that office hours.
Yeah. So overall,
questions.
Go ahead.
Allowing your folks to ask questions about the system and ask questions, just, maybe share what is working, what isn't. That's really important. It's really important.
Correct. And those open office hours, like I said, if you want to tweak something, you want to change it, you want to move it, you want to add something in there, we'll tell you exactly how to do it so that you can do that. So you're constantly building these campaigns to represent your company the way you want to build relationships. So all this, and this is just in general, this is if you guys build these systems into your business, all the things that I talked about earlier, if you're building those systems, Those systems are going to help you convert one-time buyers agents into referring agents. It's going to get your listing agents to start bringing you clients and referrals and keep you top of mind with all your agents and clients. So if you don't have a system built up already in your company, highly advise that you start building one so that you can start getting more referrals for your company and grow. And here's where you can reach me directly. If you had any questions about, just how you can build stuff, glad to answer any questions. If you had any questions about the system that I use, be glad to talk with you anytime. So feel free to reach out to me.
Thanks, Istvan. Hey, if anybody is attending the webinar right now and you want to ask Istvan some questions live during the webinar, feel free to do that right now. There's a little chat button, there's a little Q&A button. But Istvan, I like, success in our home inspection business. It was all about doing everything on your own to putting systems in place so that you don't have to do everything on your own. And that's one of the most important things that I would say home inspectors need to know. And your presentation was talking about that a lot. It's all about having the system in place. And Dominic, I'll be transparent. Dominic says, "Oh, if I knew this was a sales pitch presentation, I would not have watched." Well, I just want to say, Dominic, I was, I personally probably am not going to be buying the system. I don't need to. I'm no longer a home inspector, but here's my notes that I was taking, and so I learned a lot by this presentation. And so there is value in this presentation, Istvan. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. That's what I wanted to bring was value. It's not about the sale. It's just, here's an option, because building a system does take time. And doing those automated platforms, learning the automated platforms, what they can do is powerful. And some people want to go out there and learn it and do it really well. And if you don't have that, this is a great alternative because it can get you getting those referrals right away. And everything in our business with systems is an investment. Whether it's going to be our time or whether it's going to be money or it's going to be our resources, it is an investment. So which one do we have? Which one do we want to give up so that we can keep moving forward? And I love that you talked about systems, because when it comes to business, it's all about systems if you want to grow. And even if you don't want to grow, systems are what simplify what you do. It's like getting an automated software for, building your home inspection report. That is a system. And sometimes people get the system, use everything out of the box, are always rewriting all their comments and take forever. And it doesn't really, simplify the process. But if they get the system, they get that software, and then they start programming it, they start customizing it, they're investing time. And if they have somebody helping, they might be investing a little bit of money. But once you get there, boom, our inspection reports, like, I love it. I invested 100 hours in customizing my inspection software before I ever took it out in the field, because it was a system that I wanted to use to help make my life better. I was spending an hour to an hour and a half on every report at the end of the day. So that's another 2 to 3 hours every day once I get home. And then I got it to where it was 15 to 20 minutes because 95% of it was done on site.
Yep.
And that was about building that system so that I could be more proficient at what I do and work more on other things to build into my system, my company.
Yeah. Yep, you got to have systems in place so you can manage your time. Time management is huge. I think for home inspectors starting off, I think you're right. The home inspection report software is the first system. And then, you need, once you start making money, you need an accounting system. And then you need a website. And then the tools you use during the inspection, that's all systematic. Like when do I pull out my ladder and when do I pull out my AFCI tester or something like that. And then there's phone scheduling, that's a system in place. But a lot of home inspectors forget about the marketing aspects and keeping in contact with your current clients and reaching out to new ones. So, and that takes time if you're going to do it. So either decide to do it all on your own, or you get a system in place to help you do it yourself. That was really good. One of the things that I was thinking about while you were talking about sharing valuable information to real estate agents, home buyers, homeowners, the way I always thought about it was my clients were my neighbors, because essentially I had a market of about 25 miles. I know my neighborhood isn't 25 miles, but you know, they're essentially in my neighborhood, in my general area. And so one of the things that a home inspector can think about in sharing, if they don't know what to share, if they want to go beyond like sharing their services or maybe sharing a discount that they have available, they could share local news. Like a lot of people would be interested in, you know, they're going through Instagram or Facebook and they see, oh, this school district has just did something and done something, you know, because maybe they moved in, you inspected their home because they like the school district. So if you're commenting and sharing about the school district or the school opening right now with COVID and their plans or delays or something like that, or maybe it's a local weather event. Like a couple years ago in my area, all of our neighbors were looking at the Rocky Mountains, because I live right next to the Rocky Mountains, and watching the water come down the valleys and flood basements. My basement flooded, my neighborhood got flooded, and then there's like flood zones that we didn't know about and rezoning. So there's a lot of information that you can share that you were talking about that's related to your neighbors, essentially. All of your clients are your neighbors. So that was a really good point that you made.
Yeah, especially, you know, you can share community events.
Yep.
When things are coming up, festivals and outreach or builders, you know, expos. There's so many things that you could be offering to agents and your clients to keep them engaged, because they might not know about those things going on.
Yep.
Might be a kitchen bath expo going on and you send it out and all of a sudden your client's like, oh gosh, we were just talking about, we're sick of this kitchen. Great. And once again, it came from the home inspector. Wow, that was really cool of him to send that. He didn't have to send it, but he thought you might get that value out of it and did so. So there's so many things you can do, and it can be really, really simple. It doesn't, like, once again, sales pitches get old. They really get old, but being able to just bring value and give something is like, that feels good. I'm giving them something that's going to benefit them and help them. And I want to do that. And when people see that, they want to work with you.
And also you made the point of celebrating agents' success. I haven't heard that before. So celebrating an agent's success. When an agent sells, like you said, once a month, maybe, you know, then they're living off of that. And are they going to risk that on you? But if you actually celebrate their success, then you're part of that. So that's a really good point that you made.
Yeah, it's very powerful. They remember it. Because there may be other people that don't say a thing about it, don't ever talk about it. It goes unnoticed, and all of a sudden you may be the only person that acknowledged what they're doing.
Yeah, and that makes it special. Istvan, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for spending an hour with us, teaching us a little bit about connecting to real estate agents and how to do it well, and your system that you have available for us. And I appreciate the discount for InterNACHI members.
Yeah, it's for InterNACHI. And yeah, guys, build those relationships, get those referrals, be successful. It's been a pleasure being here, Ben. I really enjoy the opportunity to be able to give back to InterNACHI and the community. So thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Stay safe and healthy. Thanks, Istvan. Appreciate it. Bye.
Okay, bye.